Hi everyone, it's Mr. Wosu, and I'm really excited because we're about to talk about leveling up. Right? We're going to talk about successfully upgrading to ninth grade. And the goals for today are for you to get rooted, then understanding what show up, grow up, glow up, and sew up mean for you. So, when we talk about motivation, this is where we need to start because there are so many different things that you could be doing. What is going to make you do what you need to do to be successful in high school? That's what you need to identify and figure out. And so, those are going to be the roots that help you remain solidly planted no matter what comes your way, because you're going to have a lot of peer pressure, a lot of distractions. You're going to have more things to balance. And at the end of the day, if you don't keep the main thing, as my mom used to say, then you will end up in a situation where you don't want to be. Right. So, first thing, are you rooted? Are you grounded? Are you well balanced and sensible? And then, are you also rooted? Right. Are you fixed? And I think this part is really important because that's going to be what helps you remember what you need to stay focused on when all of those other things come your way. So, this video is really awesome. And it's Eric Thomas who is talking about what success really is and what that looks like. I definitely encourage you all to take a moment to look at this video. So go ahead and hit pause, and in the actual PowerPoint, I want you to scroll up and just watch this video. Now, after you watch this video, when we talk about success, all we mean is achieving your goals. Did you do the thing that you set out to do? Did you complete the task that you said you were going to complete? That is what success looks like. And the more times you just do what you say you were going to do or complete the task that you are supposed to, the more likely you will graduate with a GPA that you want, with admissions to colleges that you want to go to, or with the career that you want to start working in, right? So on a scale from 1 to 10, I want you to think back. I just want you to take a second and think back on how important is your success to you right now. And then I want you to compare that to how successful were you actually in middle school. And what I want you to think about is, if success is actually important to you, do you want to be more successful once you get to high school? And it's not a wrong answer. There's not a, yes or no, right or wrong type of situation here. It's important for you to know because this answer can really help you achieve your future goals. All right. So, next, I want to take a second to understand what a living wage is. And it's the least amount that you need to get by. And so if you think about going out to eat or buying nice clothes and jewelry or just spending money on games or makeup or whatever it is that you want to spend your money on, this doesn't include that. Right? Like, the living wage is the bare estimate for the essentials that you need. That's like food, water, shelter, very little else. And for a single person, that number is $25,921, and that's before taxes. And for a family of four, that number is $63,209, and again, that's before taxes. So why am I telling you this? Well, I just want you to take a look at this graph. First, I want you to look over here, right? In this blue, what I want you to notice is that the unemployment rate, the percentage of people who do not have a job, is highest for folks who do not finish high school. It's lowest for people who have more education, and it's highest for folks who do not finish high school. Then I want you to look over here at the median usual weekly earnings, right? Median means in the middle. So that means that there are half of all people in this category that make above that amount and half that make below it. And what I want you to understand is that these numbers that you see here are not what you will be making starting out. So let's just say you finish high school, but you choose not to go to college. So half of the people who just have a high school diploma make $730 a week, and half of them make above that. But remember, starting out, you probably will not be making $730 a week. So what do these numbers translate into annually? $37,960 a year. And remember, that's probably after you've been working a while. Not sure how long, but starting off, typically you will not make this salary. So I want us to go back a second. For a family, for a family of one, right? For a single person, $25,921. Remember, starting off, you're going to be making way less than the 37,960 you see here, or the 28,756 that you see here, if you choose not to finish high school. So, for the best opportunity to live a life where you have the freedom to do more and enjoy it and not stress about where things are going to be coming from, and not have to worry about just having to pay anyone back, right? And being able to really enjoy your life. Like you really want to make sure that you are in a position where you at the very least finish high school and find a well paying career that will allow you to live the life that you want to live. All right. So another thing that you want to think about is that you need hard and soft skills to finish high school and or college. And remember, even if you go to college, the whole point of going to college is so that you can one day get a career. So you need the academic, the career, and the life success. And that's going to take things that you will learn out in and outside of the classroom. So the hard skills are things like a foreign language or typing speed or whatever technical thing you need to learn to do your job. Now, the soft skills are things like communication and flexibility, time management, problem solving, leadership, critical thinking. These are all soft skills, but that's what people call them, but they're really, really challenging to learn sometimes. So I like to call them social emotional skills or employability skills because those are the skills that keep you employed, right? Um, and they're also known as interpersonal skills, right? But I want you to also take a moment to look at this graph right here because it says that 9 out of 10 employers say that soft skills matter as much or more than hard skills. So these are things that you need not just to keep a job, but also interact with your friends and family in a healthy way, and really just to achieve your life goals. Because you need to know that Murphy is there, and you need to make room for Murphy. And what is Murphy? Who is Murphy? What is this guy talking about? Right? I know some of y'all are wondering that. Murphy's law is anything that can go wrong will go wrong. So when you think about achieving your goals, a lot of times you just we often just think it's gonna be straightforward. Or even other people when they see us doing things, they don't understand all of the hard work that goes into us achieving a particular goal. And sometimes our expectations and their expectations couldn't be more wrong because what it actually looks like are so many obstacles and unexpected things that you have to figure out a way to overcome in order to reach your goal, whatever that may be. And so remember that once you get to high school, things can and will go wrong. And so you need to make sure that you have enough stuff to protect you, enough of a safety net to protect you because things can happen and do happen quite often. The other thing you need to remember is that when you're looking at other people and when they're looking at you, a lot of times all they see is the tip of the iceberg, right? They don't see all of the things that go on underneath. And so if you want that 4.0 or if you want to be a starter on that sports team, or if you want to be the lead chair in the orchestra or in band, whatever the thing that you want to achieve is, just understand that you're gonna probably fail. Like, forget the probably. At some point, if you try your hardest, you will fail. You're gonna have to sacrifice time, friends, to some degree. Like time with your friends, you're gonna have to sacrifice that. You're going to have to sacrifice some of your attention. You won't be able to play games. You won't be able to watch TV, Netflix, Hulu. You won't be able to do as much of that. Sometimes you're gonna have to spend some of that time studying, right? Because high school is gonna be more challenging. And if you don't have to do it in high school, at some point in your life, you're going to have to sacrifice in order to get past the hard thing, right? It's going to take dedication, good habits, and now is a great time to start building those habits. And you will be disappointed. So grit is very important. Grit is the resilience, the piece that keeps you going, even when things are challenging. You find a way to get up and go. And one thing that help increase your grit and your resilience is to understand your why. And so this quote says a person who has a why to live can bear almost any how. And it's really, really powerful because if you know why you're doing what you're doing, it makes it so much less difficult for you to get through the hard stuff. And so this exercise I want you to take a moment and complete. And I want you to just start off with the first why. Why is going to high school important to you? And again, it can be any response, but I ask that it's an honest one. And then I want you to, take a piece of paper and just write down because whatever your answer is. And these are just examples. You might have a different one, right? You might say going to high school is important because I don't want my parents to get in trouble or because I don't want to get in trouble, right? It may be because I want to see my friends. There could be any number of answers, but I want you to be honest. And then I want you to just continue to ask. Like I was saying, it could be any number of things, but the important thing is for you to identify what's most important to you. And if you get to 4 or 5, that's when you're more likely to find something that's going to motivate you. Maybe it's a person, maybe it's a thing, and it will help you get through the hard times. When you want to quit, you can think about that thing and it can help you. And so you also want to make sure that you write this down and or type it out somewhere so you can see it regularly so you don't forget it. Understand that what you feel now may be different later, but again, you just want to have something that will ground you. Remember, you want to be grounded and rooted. And you want to remember your why. So you want to look at it at least 3 times a day. So I think it's great to make it your screensaver on your phone, write it on your bedroom or your bathroom mirrors. You can even post it in a bio in your social media accounts on your Insta. In your bio, you can say, striving to finish high school because I want to make my family line better, right? I want to, take care of my kids one day. I want to, just be able to drive a car I want to drive. I want to live in a neighborhood I want to live in. Whatever that why is, I want to take care of my family. You just want to see that on a regular basis because every day you get up and go to high school, you're not just going to high school. You're you're achieving that goal, right? This is just one step towards achieving that long-term goal. All right, so high school, here are things that you need to know. Your ninth grade administrators, if you're going to South Cobb, which is most of you, Miss Hayden is for last names K through Z, and Mr. Sanford is last names A through J. Your ninth grade counselor is Miss Worthen, right? You need to understand your GPA from jump, right? It's a little different. Your GPA definitely matters. Don't slip up from don't slip up at the beginning because it's difficult to dig yourself out of a hole. You need 23 credits to graduate. You can earn up to 32. If you don't pass a class, you won't get a credit. You want to ask about dual enrollment because you can take college classes for college credit while you're still in high school and other people pay for it. So you don't have to. It's a great opportunity. Again, your GPA is important. The better you do in class, the higher it is. Block schedule means taking year-long classes in one semester. Things are so much faster, so you don't want to you don't want to fall behind or make a mistake. Make sure you ask about credit recovery options if that does happen to you, but don't let that happen to you. And then research and pick a CTAE pathway. That's going to be super helpful for you because career opportunities are why you're going to school. Even if you go to college, you still want a career. So why not start understanding what kind of career you want right now? And so there are so many different options. Consider one. Start preparing for your SAT, ACT once you get to 10th grade. All right, and I just want you to pick three of these. You can read yourself, but I'm just going to identify one or two that I think will make a really big difference. But I encourage you to find three and practice them, like master them. Just do them every day for the first month of school or even the couple weeks leading up to school so that you can get a great head start once school starts. So you want to get at least 8 hours of sleep. That is super helpful. And you also want to practice slant because teachers aren't mind readers, but our body language and our nonverbals actually communicate a lot more than what we say, right? So the way we say things and what our body says actually speaks louder than the actual words that we use. So slant stands for sit up, lean forward, ask and answer questions, nod your head, and track the speaker. And by tracking, you're just following the teacher. Wherever the teacher is, you're making sure that you're making eye contact with that teacher's location. And so if you do the slant method, it can help communicate to teachers that you want to be successful in their class. So that's all about showing up, right? At the end of the day, you got to show up before you can do anything else. If you're not there, then you can't do the rest. So showing up is super important, and that's talking about attendance. And that means being present, not just physically, but also mentally and emotionally. So next, you have to grow up, and that's your behavior. So I'm gonna pick a couple, and I want you to just identify again three that you can practice that will help you be more successful. One is you want to make sure you are respecting boundaries and consent. So you can say, I was just playing, but if you're just playing with the wrong person or the wrong time, you will just get in trouble. And I need you to understand that because things that you got away with in middle school, you will no longer be able to get away with in high school. There are some behaviors that will get you suspended or even expelled. So I want you all to be careful, okay? The other thing that I want to point out is fighting. Three strikes and you are out. And your eighth grade fights count. Let me repeat that. Your fights in eighth grade count. So make sure you are finding more productive ways to deal with conflict than using your fists or using a weapon. All right? Because it is not worth it. It is not worth it. Especially if you go back to your motivation. I'm sure that I don't think anyone's goal was to get kicked out of school. I don't know who's listening to this, but I could bet my paycheck that no one said my goal is to go to high school and get expelled. All right, so just remember that. Remember your motivation, and remember that when it comes to fighting, you don't get the same amount of chances that you got in middle school. And if you got in a fight in eighth grade, that counts as a strike. Then, if your behavior is on point, then you have the opportunity to actually glow up. Right, that's when you get to see the fruits of your labor. All right, so the first thing that I want you all to consider is making SMART goals every 4.5 weeks for each of your classes. And remember, SMART stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time based. So you could say by the end of the the first quarter, I want to have a 90 average in social studies, right? So it's time bound because when is going to happen by the end of the first quarter, the first 4.5 weeks. It's specific. You're saying exactly what you want. You want 90 average. Is it attainable? That's what you have to consider. Are you someone who studies, who does their work, who got decent grades in middle school? Do you think that with effort you could get a 90? And do you understand material and social studies pretty well? Then yeah, it is attainable. And is it relevant? You're talking about school. Social studies is a part of school, so yes, it is relevant. So you want to make sure that you set a SMART goal for each of your classes because it helps increase the chances that you are successful because you will have more focus when things like Murphy try to come knock you off track, or when other things try to, that are fun that you enjoy try to, distract you from the main thing. The other thing that I would suggest is make sure that you have good study habits, right? And don't study alone. You want to study for like 1 to 2 hours every day. If you can develop that habit now, if you plan on going to college, it will put you in a great position, right? And if you have friends that study together, if you all can push each other to be more successful, iron sharpens iron. So you all can get better together. And the other glow up is the extracurricular achievement. So if you play a sport or if you're part of a student organization, remember first and foremost that school is the main thing. You are a student athlete, you are a student leader, you are in a student organization. Student comes first in each of those phrases. So don't forget that. All right. And then the other thing that I would recommend is making sure that you use your planner, whether it's on your phone or you're using a physical paper planner. I suggest you use one and make sure you log your dates in along with the dates on the syllabus that you get on the syllabi that you get from all of your academic classes so that you don't have time conflicts or you don't forget things to come up so you can properly prepare and put your best foot forward. All right. And the last thing that we're going to hit on is the sew up. And sew up just means planting seeds for positive school climate and culture. And wherever you go, you want to be planting seeds of positivity so that you can grow things that are positive, right? So you want to respect yourself and others. And when I talk about respecting yourself and others, you want to treat yourself like you are valuable. And sometimes we treat others like they're more valuable than we are. And the reality is that we are all very valuable, but you are the only one who can live your life. Your friend can't live your life for you. Your friend can't be successful for you. Your friend can't make decisions for you, or your friend cannot deal with the consequences of your decisions for you. And so you need to remember that. You need to make sure that you are respecting yourself and you are taking care of yourself so that you can be there for your family and your friends. But it starts with making sure that you are respecting you. All right. And I would say the other thing, I'm going to do three on this slide. I would say you want to find ways to increase grit because high school is filled with learning opportunities, and grit is what helps you continue even when you make a mistake or when you fail. So, in a second, I'm going to go click on this link and I'm going to show you all what this grit quiz looks like. But before that, I will also go ahead and recommend that you all let me see. I'm gonna do one more actually. I'm gonna do one more in addition to try again if you fail because you're gonna make mistakes. All right. Help others and ask for help. I promise you all. In addition to helping others and asking for help, there's gonna be one more, and then we're gonna be done. I promise. All right. So the very last one is learn more about yourself by taking this quiz, and then invite your friends to take it and discuss results. So the first thing is the grit scale, and this really is tied to success in college and career and all different types of things in life that people want to be successful at, and it gives you information about how you can work to improve your grit. So I recommend taking this and then just discussing this with other folks that are important to you because they can increase their grit too. They can be as successful at other things too. And the last thing that I want to hit on is this love languages quiz, the 5 love languages. And you might say, I'm not, trying to date. I'm not in a relationship. No, these love languages, this talks about how you give and receive love, how you show appreciation, how you receive being appreciated. And it's important to know what you like and what you need so that you can teach other people how to treat you. And so I want you all to take the quiz, and I want you to specifically start on the love quiz, and I want you all to just click on the begin the teens quiz, right? And just take a few minutes, maybe 10, 15 minutes. And I think this is a really valuable tool to help you figure out some things that some folks don't figure out for another 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Your life could be so much easier if you understand who you are and what you need. And those two, the grit scale, along with this five love languages quiz, can really help put you in a position where you are well beyond your years in terms of self awareness and knowing what you need to live a successful life. All right, so I hope this was helpful. I wish you all the best in high school. I know you all are gonna kill it, but in the best way, right? Kill it in a positive way. Uh, so much love, man, and please come back and see us and let us know how great you're doing. All right, peace.